And that gas tax is about to be 54 cents. Let's bring in the U.S. Secretary of Energy. Jennifer Granholm is with us. Nice to have you. Thanks so much for being here.
You bet. Thanks for having me on.
We know that the administration wants to temporarily pause that federal gas tax of 18 cents a gallon. We know that Democrats are in control of the House, the Senate, the White House. Why hasn't this gotten done yet? And what more can be done to lower gas prices?
Yeah, well, I mean, as you know, even though there's a majority, a bare majority in the Senate, it takes 60 votes, not 50 votes, to be able to get something through. So the White House is asking Congress to do a gas tax holiday for the next 3 months, especially during this high driving season. We're hopeful. There's a number of Republicans and Democrats that have introduced proposals both now and in the past about removing that gas tax. So we're hopeful that we can pull it together and have that happen. I do note that in California, I'm sure you have covered this, that the governor is looking at it in a slightly different way, which is to provide rebates to families for the amount of extra money that they're spending on gasoline, which is another way of trying to provide relief at the pump. And we're grateful to hear that he's doing that.
Yeah, he's sort of relabeled that the inflation relief for Californians here. Speaking of, so as Alex mentioned, the gas tax will be hiked again tomorrow, starting July 1st to 54 cents in this state. Do you think that the California legislature should follow suit and suspend California's gas tax?
Well, the president has called for all states to do that, and I know that some states have already. And, you know, I think that Governor Newsom is just approaching it in a different way.
Of course, Republicans would say it could be more immediately done if you just suspended it, just like you guys are proposing from a federal perspective. But let's talk more about some of the root causes of why these prices are so high. You recently met with some of the CEOs of oil companies. We know a lot of people have accused them of price gouging. Take us inside the room for that meeting, and what now specifically is being done to hold them accountable going forward?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, two reasons why the price of gas, the price of oil is so high is because the supply of oil does not meet the demand of people who are getting back out of the pandemic and wanting to drive. And a bunch of oil was taken off the market when Russia invaded Ukraine. They're one of the largest exporters of oil, and all these countries like the U.S. said, we're not going to take on any Russian oil, and therefore all those barrels were pulled off the market. So we asked the oil and gas companies, please increase production. And can you also increase refining capacity? Because that's another choke point. During the pandemic, there were about 6 refineries in the U.S. that came offline. So even if you produce a whole bunch more oil, if you can't refine it into gasoline, that is a problem. Our U.S. producers said that they are going to be increasing by about 1 million barrels per day by the end of this year. So the whole point about economics, right, is you want supply and demand to meet each other. And right now, demand is much higher than supply. And so bringing that supply up is one of the ways to try to reduce the price. But yes, we want to ask constantly these oil and gas companies, first of all, when the price comes down internationally, the price per barrel, please lower the price of the gas instead of waiting for a long period of time for that to happen.
Finally, Marla, some good news when it comes to jobs.
Yeah, in particular, the energy sector experienced positive job growth. I know we have some information here that overall almost 30,000 energy jobs were created in our state, and these are some very specific sectors that have gained. Secretary Granholm, how do people take advantage of these energy jobs? How do they get them?
Yeah, for sure. They're advertising all over for jobs, and it's all kinds of jobs for all kinds of people. So it could be whether you're a lineman working on adding transmission, whether you're building the batteries for electric vehicles, whether you're assembling those vehicles, whether you're putting up solar panels on people's houses, whether you're building those solar panels, whether you're putting up wind turbines. There are jobs all over the place. And California created the most amount of clean energy jobs in 2021. This was the report that we had. And you've got almost 400,000 Californians who are working in zero carbon technologies. In fact, the energy sector last year grew faster than the overall economy. It grew by about 4%. The jobs in the rest of the economy grew by about 2.8%. And this is only going to continue as we in this country, but also around the world, there's a demand for these clean energy products. We want them made in America, stamped made in America, use them here, export them elsewhere. And that's why the president is focused on building out the supply chains here in this country.
Of course, Secretary Granholm, you've spent so much of your life here in California, so I know you're proud of our state leading the way on that front. And as we're about to celebrate Independence Day in America, we can celebrate Energy Independence Day, hopefully soon enough. We appreciate your time. Happy 4th to you. Really appreciate your perspective.
Thank you so much.